Okay, so are you ready to dive into something a little creepy today?
Always up for a good scare. What do we have?
Well, buckle up because we're about to crack open a story called Chrono of Terror. And let me tell you, that title, it's not exaggerating.
Oh, a time loop story. Those always mess with my head.
Right. It's like tapping into some primal fear,
Yeah.
being stuck, knowing something awful is coming, but you can't stop it.
It's that feeling of helplessness, right? Like being on a runaway train.
Exactly. And this story, it takes that feeling and just like throws you off a cliff with it.
Okay, now you've got me hooked. Tell me more.
So it all starts with this boy, right? He's in this old, creepy house. You know the kind I'm talking about, like spooky attic that's just begging to be explored.
Yeah, probably some cobwebs and flickering lights too, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And what does this kid find in the attic? A clock. But not just any clock.
Let me guess. It's got to be more than just a dusty old clock.
You got it. It's all cracked. The hands are just frozen at 12. And it's giving off this total aura of wrongness. You know that feeling when something's just dock off?
Totally. Like finding a dead bird on your doorstep. You know something bad happened, but...
Yes. Like a shiver down your spine.
Yeah.
That's this clock. And of course, what does the kid do? He winds it.
Oh no. He winds it. This is where it gets good.
And terrifying.
Yeah.
Imagine being like yanked back in time. You're reliving the same moment over and over again.
The worst Groundhog Day ever.
Exactly. He's trapped in this loop. And get this, he's not alone. There's this girl, her eyes are just wide with terror.
Oh, see, that's what gets me, that raw fear in someone else.
Right. And she's warning him. There's something else in the house, something evil, something connected to the clock.
Okay, now that's just chilling. It's like the author took all our worst fears about time loops and then added a creepy haunted house on top of it. I don't know if I could handle that.
And that's just the beginning. And just when you think the boy's stuck, right, like there's no way out of this time prison, the story throws a little glimmer of hope your way.
Oh, a glimmer of hope. That's almost worse when you're dealing with a good horror story.
Right. So it turns out there's a way to break the loop. Somewhere in this creepy attic, there's a key and a chest.
Okay, a key in a chest. That's classic haunted house mystery stuff right there.
Yeah.
But what do they go to? What's the big reveal?
That's the million-dollar question, right? And
What-
will the boy even find them before, whatever's hunting them catches up?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Introducing that possibility of escape. That's what really kicks the tension up a notch. Suddenly, every second counts.
Totally. And speaking of terrifying, we haven't even gotten to the grotesque figure lurking in the shadows yet.
Oh, no, there's a grotesque figure now. You're just full of good news today.
Oh, yeah, it gets worse. And we're not talking about some vague, creepy presence either.
Yeah.
The author gives you just enough detail to make your skin crawl, twisted features, a horrifying grin, and the whispers.
Oh, stop. I get chills just thinking about it. You know what really gets me? The way authors use shadows in horror. It's like they become this character themselves.
Right, like anything could be hiding in the dark.
Exactly. And the things we can't see are always the scariest. So we've got this boy, he's racing against time with this creepy key, a mysterious chest, and this thing lurking in the shadows.
And trust me, the tension is so thick you could cut it with a knife. It all builds and builds to this heart-stopping climax. The boy's got the key. He's desperate to find that chest and break free. But the clock's ticking away, and this creature is closing in.
It's like that question, can you ever really outrun your fate? So what happens? Does he do it? Does he break free?
Well, that's the thing about this story. It doesn't give you easy answers. It leaves you with this unsettling feeling long after you finish it. See, we find the boy back in his room. Loop's broken. Clock seems normal.
Okay, but you said it leaves you unsettled, so it can't be that easy, right? There's got to be a catch.
There's a catch, all right. He's safe, but he's different. Like, this experience, it's changed him.
See, that's what I'm talking about. That's what makes a horror story truly great. Not just the scare in the moment, but that lingering sense of unease. It's like, even though he's back in his own room, he never truly escaped that attic, you know?
Totally. It's like this, like a shadow hanging over him. And you'd think that would be enough, right? I mean, the kid went through hell, escaped a time loop, faced down some grotesque monster. But then the author, they hit you with this final image, like a punch to the gut.
Okay, now you have to tell me, what's the final image? What's got you so twisted up?
The boy, he's drawn back to the attic. You just see him standing there listening to that clock ticking away. It's like he's both terrified and, like, totally drawn to it.
You know, it's like that saying, we are drawn to the flame even though it can burn us. That's human nature, isn't it? Always curious, even when we should be afraid.
Oh, for sure. But in this case, I think it's more than just curiosity. It's like this inevitability.
Mm.
Like, he's destined to repeat the whole terrifying cycle.
Oh, a never-ending loop of terror. Yeah, that's just cruel and delicious all at the same time. And the author just leaves it there. No explanation.
Nope. Just the boy, the attic, and that ticking clock. It's like the author's saying, hey, you think it's over, think again.
Yeah.
This story, it doesn't just want to scare you. It wants to get under your skin and stay there.
That reminds me of another time loop story. No, you know what? I'm going to let our listeners sit with that for a while. Sometimes the scariest stories are the ones that leave us with more questions than answers.
For sure. And that's what makes Chrono Loop of Terror such a powerful read. It's a terrifying exploration of fear, of the unknown, and that unsettling feeling that maybe, just maybe, we're all trapped in our own personal time loops.
So the next time you hear a clock ticking a little too loudly,
Or you get that feeling that you're not alone in the dark.
just remember this deep dive. Sweet dreams, everyone.